My name is John Watts. I'm a consumer lawyer in Birmingham, Alabama, and a question that we are often asked is, what kind of letter do I send to a debt collector? And there are all sorts of things floating around on the internet, and some are very long, some are short. What we often recommend is a very short, very simple letter. And if you're watching this video on our website, you'll see it below, or if you're not watching this on our website, it should be a link to go to this particular page on our website. But here's the basic idea. You send a letter that says, I dispute owing your company any debt. Now, if you know you owe it, then don't send that letter. But if you don't know who this collection agency is, you don't know that they truly own this debt or have been assigned this debt, then you say, I dispute owing your company any debt. Then you say, if you think that I owe your company any debt, send me proof in writing. And then finally you say, do not ever call my cell phone, and you give your cell phone number. And if you think I ever gave you or anybody else permission to call my cell phone, I'm revoking that now. Now let's talk about why we do that. First of all, say you dispute the debt so that the debt collector, if they sue you, won't argue, and it's a bogus argument, it's completely against the law, but they do it anyway. So that they won't argue, well, this consumer never disputed owing this debt. Well, you did dispute in this letter. Also, if they update your credit reports after receiving this letter, they must show it as being disputed. And that can be helpful to you on your credit reports. If they don't do that, then they violate the law. So the second part of the letter says, hey, I don't think I owe you any debt, but if you think I do, send me some proof in writing. Now, there are all sorts of things on the internet about debt collectors have to send you every receipt, every printout. They don't have to do that under the law. Whether they should or shouldn't, I'm just telling you they don't have to do that under the law. But when you say, hey, Mr. Debt Collector, I do not owe you this debt, but if you think I do, send me the proof. Then that debt collector has a choice. It can say, nope, I don't have to do anything under the law other than send you a letter that says, I checked and you do owe the debt. They can do that, but if they continue to collect and you do not owe that debt, there are consequences to that. Or the debt collector, and this is what the honorable debt collectors will do, they'll say, okay, you dispute owing this debt, here's the proof. And then that allows you to look at it and to make a decision on whether you owe this debt or you don't owe this debt. And the final part of the letter is to say, look, don't ever call my cell phone. And you give them your cell phone number. And you say, if you think I gave permission, I'm revoking it. The point of that is these debt collectors love to use auto dialers or pre-recorded messages, these computer dialers that just blast out 4 or 5 calls a day against your cell phone. And when you answer, they may drop the call. It may be a recording saying, please hold for the next available representative. It may be a recording that says, this is very important. We need you to call us back. And unless you just particularly like getting those kind of calls, having your phone blown up all the time, then you send this letter that says, hey, look, don't call my cell phone number. Now, we have a lot of videos on this. This is called the TCPA, Telephone Consumer Protection Act. We have a whole section on our website about it. But the point is, they cannot do these kind of computer calls unless you gave permission to that debt collector or to the original creditor. Now, they always say, oh, we had permission. You obviously gave us permission. Well, the truth of the matter is that they may very well have skip traced you and found your cell phone number. So to remove any doubt, you send that letter. You send it certified mail that says, here's my cell phone number. Don't ever call it. I revoke permission. And then after that, if that collector's calling you on your cell phone, auto dialer, pre-recorded message, predictive dialer, all these kind of automated, in other words, not a human being dialing it, then they may have liability under the TCPA. So I hope this has been helpful to you. Again, you can read this in more depth, get the actual text of the sample letter that we propose that you look at. And if you live in Alabama and have any questions, you can call us at 205-879-2447 or contact us through our website, alabamaconsumer.com.